Somebody made a post. There's no way to like make people adjust appropriately, but somebody made a post that I actually super agree with. This is so true. Wick, Connor, Erudite, etc. do not think Trump is that bad. I don't think people realize how bad Trump is. I don't think that they have an understanding of this. Lately, a lot has been taking shape in my mind. It started with the Tom Bilyeu discussion and really clicked during the recent Wick panel debate. There's a fundamental disconnect around just how bad Trump actually is, and because that prior isn't shared, many political conversations end up going nowhere. Now, I get what some might say. People constantly call Trump bad. They make content criticizing him. They disagree with him. They work against him. What more do you want? But it's not just that Trump is bad. It's how bad. I try to bring this up over and over again. I think even on that, maybe even in the conversation, I try to say like -10 and +10, but it's hard to like put it into words. It's like people are acting like the Democrats are getting like an 85 and Trump is getting like a 70. And you have to try to like explain to people. It's like, no, like, I don't know why you think that it's like 85 or 70. It's like 85 versus like 5%. It's not even remotely close. It's not even remotely close to this. Like I would argue that this is a both sidesing. Even if you're saying that one is better than the other, it's still a form of both sidesing. It's not just that Trump is bad, it's how bad. That difference in degree becomes obvious when you look at how people argue, what they focus on, and how they respond to figures like Destiny or the soy pill. It's painfully clear when people kept comparing Trump to Democrats, or when Wick said, nice spelling, said folks would disown their friends and family over supporting Trump as if that were extreme. Yeah, I was gonna call that out, but yeah. But if you truly internalize that Trump attempted an insurrection, had close ties with Epstein, and may have protected him, I don't even care as much about this. Is actively undermining U.S. institutions. That's vague and could be better. Supports illegal deportations without due process. That's a big one. Then, of course, you disown someone who knowingly supports him. And no, bringing up Hillary's deplorables, Kyle Rittenhouse, or Hunter Biden isn't remotely comparable. These topics aren't in the same moral universe. Yeah, it's so, and I don't know how to make people understand this intuitively. I need like a snappier analogy or something, because people will point out to like, oh, you made that comment about the firefighter, or oh, what about when Hillary said deplorables? Like, you're trying to have one side held up to an impossible standard, and the other side is not. Also, it's important to remember, the other side is not acting in good faith. It's not like they're genuinely upset about these comments. They are actively searching for any particular thing that they can farm as outrage content. And to act like it's not even, and then but then people like Kylo was saying this, and Wick was saying this. Oh no, it's because we hold ourselves to a higher standard. That has nothing to do with what we're talking about here. That has nothing to do with what we're talking about here. Some centrists are starting to peel off, citing this like the Epstein revelations, the one big beautiful bill, or tariffs. But how much do they really care? Tom Bilyeu has said Trump has gone too far and that the OBBB is awful, but his tone feels hollow. If someone genuinely believed Trump is corrupt, a threat to democracy, and responsible for real harm, they wouldn't just stop supporting him, they'd be actively opposing him. The fact that Wick, Connor, and Erudite can end up in a situation where they're making these kinds of comparisons and attacking Destiny's testament to just how effective the right-wing framing of political discussion has become. It's so effective that it's even seeped into anti-Trump spaces, subtle but absolutely there. There must be a full pushback. True. Somebody said there was... Somebody disagreed with this here, or... Okay, I don't know. Dude, I have at least one friend and another tangentially worked in a university setting. The idea that you just get money for free from the government with no oversight is just so fucking retarded. Like, there is so much bureaucratic stuff. Like, if you wanted to make arguments against the bureaucracy, I guess it's funny because they say there's too big of a bureaucracy, but then they say there's no checks on anything. Like, the whole process of getting a grant, declaring, like, where the money's going towards, making sure that multiple people are signing off on multiple stages, like having to send, like, documentation records, like, back and forth to the government and fighting over, like, every fucking thing that you have to account for and all this shit when you're getting government money. It's just so crazy to know people that work directly with this. And then, like, conservatives like, oh, no, the government just hand a blank check, and then they get all the free money and they don't even know where it's going. It's like, really? It's so fucking retarded. It's okay.
Tested to people like John Brennan and James Clapper. They were shocked that it would even be considered. The Steele dossier was used in this manufactured assessment that President Obama directed be created, along with many other pieces of intelligence that...
Like, the Steele dossier, my understanding, I haven't read the Mueller report yet, but the Steele dossier, my understanding is that that was an op-ed research packet that was made by an ex-MI6 guy, and that's what it was presented as. and it was given with low confidence, or with varying levels of confidence for different claims. That's what it was. Nobody lied about that. Everybody knew that that's what it was. The CIA or the FBI or Mueller's team, everybody knew that when they got it. As opposed to the start of the Hunter Biden thing was a confidential informant explicitly and literally lying to the FBI in order to start the entire investigation into Hunter Biden. That was an explicit and literal lie, which that guy's now convicted for. Like,
the intelligence community itself, for months leading up to the election, said this is not credible and should not be used at all.
We've got to get to the bottom of this. I hope there are criminal referrals at the end of this. This investigation has got to be thorough, and I have every belief that this is a big release today. Declassifying this is a big deal. I spent 3 years on this program, unpeeling every layer of the onion, and the media just were used as propagandists, pushing a false conspiracy.
Remember, Sean Hannity explicitly and literally lied. He explicitly and he literally lied to push the Dominion shit. Fuck. I have all this in my notes somewhere, but... Don't ever forget. You want to talk about deep state? You want to talk about verticality? You want to talk about coordination between different people to make, to lie about shit to the American people? You will never, ever, 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 ever have something as disgusting. Why the fuck? Are they not loaded? Or wait, does it not search these? Jesus. I like this quote. From Jay Wallace, thank you. I watched Lou closely for 2 weeks during the conventions. The North Koreans do a more nuanced show. Great, true. Wait, was Sean Hannity was one of the hosts that were included in this lawsuit, right? Tucker Carlson is here. Laura Ingraham is here. Sidney Powell is lying, by the way. I caught her. It's insane. Janine is here. Lou Dobbs was here. You passed it earlier. Wait, did I? Or are you fucking lying to me? It's page 15 in the PDF. It sucked. Lou was reckless, but I think this will give energy to CNN and other voices seeking to kill us. We should be as aggressive and tough as we can be. This is Tucker Carlson. My PDF, the one that I linked. Oh, this is their actual... I don't think they have, like, the slide things in here. That whole narrative that Sidney was pushing, I did not believe it for 1 second. Now, maybe he's referring to something different, though. Each circumstantial factor cuts strongly in Dominion's favor, but here, the words of multiple Fox employees provide overwhelming direct evidence of actual malice. In addition to the evidence cited above, the excerpts below feature just some of the additional examples showing Fox employees knew at the time that these claims and the guests promoting them were, in the words of Tucker Carlson, ludicrous. In the words of Tucker Carlson, totally off the rails. Sean Hannity, fucking lunatics. Dana Perino, nuts. Producer John Fawcett to Lou Dobbs, complete BS. Maria Bartiromo, regarding an email received from pal Kooky. Raj Shah, Fox Corporation SVP, mind-blowingly nuts. During this November 4th to November 7th timeframe, Fox made at least some effort to prevent false charges from spreading. On November 6th, after Cooper received the forwarded email from Rupert Murdoch stating it was very hard to credibly cry foul and warning of Trump becoming a sore loser. By the way, he still denies the election results of 2020. Cooper and Fox executive Ron Mitchell discussed whether their primetime hosts Hannity, Carlson, and Ingram would push false claims of election fraud. I feel really good about Tucker and Laura. I think Sean will see the wisdom of this trek eventually, but even this morning, he was still looking for examples of fraud. These people are actual fucking demons. Demon spawn.
Theory for 3 years, and it did great damage to the country. Tulsi, great work. Thank you. We appreciate it. Hey, Sean Hannity here. Hey, click here to subscribe to Fox News YouTube.
This is part of this. We watch this. Stephen Miller is crazy. Tulsi exposes the Russia hoax by Obama. We just read this section. More Trump.
Saying any of those things, I'm just asking why he didn't remember that he appointed the Fed chair in 2017 and stood in the Rose Garden with him and appointed him.
True.
Why didn't he remember that?
True. He's a busy guy. He forgets stuff sometimes, okay?
I think this might be the most fun nothing burger I've seen in a while.
Oh, yeah?
You have transparency from the White House saying that there's an issue, and here it is. Thank goodness we've got that back, number one. Number two, no one's having to lie on his behalf and cover it up. They're not having to plan meetings around certain times when he's cognitive and then give him a nap time in the middle of the day and saying he works 4 hours a day. Donald Trump literally works 10, 12, 15, 18, 20 hours a day, constantly flying all over the place. There are days
20 hours a day.
Yes, there have been
20
days
hours
where
a
he's worked
day.
that many hours.
There's Kool-Aid on the side of your. Like, I mean, are you serious?
He tweets all night long. Do you not see it?
Look,
Pussy. He said Kool-Aid. He should have said cum stains.
I think that all of those
here?
those are kind of irrelevant to the
I'll give you
central
a great
question.
What has been
What
clear?
explains
What has been
the
clear
behavior?
throughout the time that we have seen him on the public stages, this is not the most intelligent person we have. This is not the best analyst of information.
You may not
and
like
he does
him,
not,
but at
and he
least
does
the
not
guy
have
is-
a lot of information at his fingertips as far as things that he knows. So if there is a cognitive, cognitive problem,
You ever met him?
I actually have met him. I met him at the White House court. Actually,
did you converse
met him
with
at
him
the
about
White.
any
Yes,
issue?
I met him at
Get
the
lost
White
on
House
stage
court.
like Joe Biden.
It's 100% to distract over the Epstein story. Yep. But I mean, like, everything is a distraction in current American media. You just keep moving on to the next thing. Move on, or move back, I guess, because we're talking about a 10-year-old story now.
All right, let's get your take, Horace.
It's no doubt that we are in the very beginning stages of a new golden era for America. I have only one complaint. When the president was running the first time, he told me and the rest of America that we would get tired of winning. I was very doubtful that we would ever get tired of winning. But I recently told the House Speaker, we're winning so much that we only have about an hour to celebrate one victory before we move on to the next victory. Could we possibly slow it down just a little bit so that we can stage a big
Horace, what are you
celebration?
talking about?
We need to celebrate a big celebration.
You're losing the
Now,
moment.
I want to celebrate and then celebrate again, and then I want to hear Colbert got fired, then Kimmel, and then
But Sean, a celebration-
CNN's off the air because nobody watches them.
A celebration
I want it all.
takes at least a couple hours to do.
Do you think, where are my doctors at? You know how he's got this venous insufficiency bullshit or whatever? Do you think that might be a side effect of all the Viagra that Trump has to take to fuck a load into each of these fucking submissive little bitch boys for him every single fucking day? Like, how does he have so much dick for all of these guys to ride constantly? It's got to be like an impossible task. Like, people in the chat are making fun of Trump for not working that many hours a day, but I'm pretty sure they don't include all the dick riding in his fucking schedule.
And
Colbert got fired, then Kimmel, and then
but Sean,
you know,
a celebration,
CNN's off the air because nobody watches them.
A celebration takes at least a couple hours to do, and I think there have been so many
stop
amazing
sipping your wine
things.
and just take a shot and move on to the next celebration. I mean.
And he repeats the Kimmel line because Donald Trump called out Kimmel in his Truth Social. Stephen Miller reports 150,000 threats to our street already gone.
Under President Trump's leadership, 150,000 criminal illegal aliens have been arrested by either Homeland Security or the Department of Justice and either deported or prosecuted. 150,000.
Is this even true? I feel like you could just say any number and it's like, do we know? Do we even know? Why don't I just say like 10 million? Jesus.
If you know who I am, then why the fuck are you telling me to open the window? And why the hell are you fucking pointing a fucking taser at me if you know who I am? Okay, and you guys follow everyone. Everyone. You guys stalk people all the fucking time.
Is he getting out because he doesn't like that she's following him? Is that illegal? What? Based.
You're trying to replace the word hoax. Look, I'm trying to figure out, have the Democrats asserted anything that is real? The climate predictions, no. High-speed rail, no. Trans kids and suicide risk, no. White supremacy and military, no. Fine people, no. Collusion, no. Joe's brain, no. The Democratic Party is the hoax party. It's like you've created an alternative universe where only you can feel comfort in there. These are not conspiracy theories. These are not things people believe. These are things that you create. Your president was fake.
What?
Your protests are fake.
Your
accusations are fake.
That he won the 2020 election. That's
really
fake.
No, you know your president's fake. You know that he wasn't president.
Your president.
So one of our purposes this morning was to reassure the American public with respect to the 2016 election, and then also, secondly, look at what we do in future elections going forward. You said in your opening statement, or in your prepared remarks, that to your knowledge there was no vote tallying changes, that no one's vote was, they voted one way and it recorded some other way. Is that still your opinion that with respect to the 2016 election, that the intrusions or attempted, whatever it is the Russians or others did not affect the actual voting itself?
Based on everything I know, that is correct. I know of no evidence that through cyber intrusions, votes were altered or suppressed in some way.
Okay.
Oh, shit. Wait, did this just come out today? This is the big leak today, right? This is what Tulsi Gabbard is saying that they covered up from us for years? That they didn't come out and admit this particular thing?
The lessons learned in moving forward, you designated the
Oh, shit. Sharp beat the charges. On April 20, 2025, the Busby law firm filed a complaint in Nevada, making several allegations against Shannon Sharp on behalf of our client. Both sides acknowledge a long-term consensual and tumultuous relationship. After protracted and respectful negotiations, I'm pleased to announce that we have reached a mutually agreed upon resolution. All matters have now been addressed satisfactorily, and the matter is closed. The lawsuit will thus be dismissed with prejudice. Can I get a master hacker to send me this video clip on, or just make it streamable or something? Jesus. What, does this guy kill himself? Hold on. Jesus. The name of this clip is titled, Never Don't Look Into the Muzzle. Or I guess I can just put it up here. Well, thanks, Jader Fernando. What are you even hoping to see by, like, what is the plan? Did he pull the trigger, or what the fuck kind of malfunction is this delayed shot? Actually, good question. What did happen here? Think it was a fake video? Hold on. Tulsi Gabbard. Okay.
For me. After that, no turkey for me. Well, to that point, think about this. Next year is going to be the 25th anniversary of 9/11. There's going to be all kinds of ceremonies here, and you're going to have a guy who's jihadi adjacent leading them if he wins. That's where this is.
Jihadi adjacent? What the fuck does that even mean? Jihadi adjacent?
Don't. The stuff that he countenances, come on now, Jessica.
Jihadi adjacent?
Jihadi adjacent, yes.
That could be anybody then.
Very closely jihadi adjacent. What, is there something you want to tell us?
I wear the other team's color for one day, and now it's a problem.
He's more than, you want me to go further? Then he's a jihadi apologist. How about that? And you're not going to say that about all of us, are you? Of course not. Okay, let's move on.
My discomfort has
this
been
is the Democrat.
After that, no turkey for me.
EPA says it will eliminate its scientific research arm. The decision comes after a Supreme Court ruling allowing the Trump administration to slash the federal workforce and dismantle agencies. Based. The EPA said on Friday that it would eliminate its scientific research arm and begin firing hundreds of chemists, biologists, toxicologists, and other scientists after denying for months it intended to do so. The move underscores how the Trump admin is forging ahead with efforts to slash the federal workforce and dismantle federal agencies after the Supreme Court allowed these plans to proceed while legal challenges unfold. Good one. Trump's DOJ contacted states for voter data, access to voting machines, sources. They've literally done this, I think, every administration. He tried to do this in the first administration when he claimed that there were 3 million illegal voters, and he put together a voter fraud panel, and then they demanded from every single state, give us all of your voter data. And every single state, even the conservative ones, said, fuck off. Nowadays, I don't think they would. Now they would fully cuck to it, I bet. I'm curious what they say in this article. The outreach was made to at least 6 states, and some of the letters obtained by ABC News. The DOJ requested from the states broad information about voting systems, how counties maintained updated voter information, and how non-citizens who are on the list are identified. Oh, this isn't as egregious as the demands they made in his first admin, but I don't know if they can even ask for this. Destiny, is this kind of thing easily reversible for the next presidency? The issue we have right now is not the presidency. The issue we have is the fact that half of America, enthusiastically support this guy. Ceasefire reached in Syria. Another one? Wow.
All right. Well, the U.S. ambassador to Turkey and special envoy for Syria has just announced a new ceasefire between Israel and Syria. In a post on X, the special envoy wrote that Israel's Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu and Syria's president agreed to the deal and that it had the support of regional neighbors and the U.S. CBS News.
These people have to be racist. There's literally nothing Muslim about Mamdani except for his background. He comes from a secular Muslim family since his parents were literally university professors. I half agree with you. I just... It's not racism anymore. It's a little bit more insidious. It's hardcore xenophobia. It seems similar, and at times they can be, but I feel like xenophobia is a bit more fleshed out and evolved, whereas racism is a little bit more primal and just like, I don't like a guy. I think xenophobia can manifest more deeply in the mind because it's more fleshed out and there's like more bad shit about it. But I do agree that a lot of the right's attacks against Mamdani, and maybe some of the left's attacks against Mamdani are just like xenophobic.
To the deal and that it had the support of regional neighbors and the U.S. CBS News senior national security correspondent Charlie D'Agata joins me now. So, Charlie, what more do we know about the ceasefire?
Yeah, Kelly, great to be with you. This news just came in. I just read it myself. According to the U.S. ambassador to Turkey, Tom Barak, Israel and Syria have agreed to a ceasefire. Now, this comes after Israel launched airstrikes in southern Syria and the capital itself, actually, the targeted Syrian Defense Ministry headquarters. So we have to see if it holds, because there was fighting today between Syrian government forces and the Druze community. That's what kind of kicked it all off. The United Nations called for an end of the bloodshed and demanded an independent investigation. It's already claimed something like 650 lives. Tens of thousands of people have been displaced. And the Israelis launched the airstrikes in order to protect, they say, the Druze community. There is a larger Druze community throughout Lebanon and Israel itself. But it has been seen by the new Syrian government as a challenge to Syrian leadership.
And I know you know better than anyone that these ceasefires in the Middle East, I mean, they can change very, very rapidly. I also wanted to ask you, we know that from U.S. intelligence sources that Iran's president was injured during Israeli strikes. Do we know whether Israel was directly targeting Iran's president when he was injured in that?
Well, the Iranians certainly think so. As you said, U.S. intelligence sources tell CBS News that reports that were in Iran from state-run media, they're accurate. The Iranian president was attending a meeting with the Supreme National Security Council when that strike happened. He was later asked whether he believes the Israelis had tried to kill him. He said, yes, they knew where I was, but they tried and they failed. The president is said to have suffered leg injuries. He managed to escape through an emergency shaft. Neither the Israelis or the White House will comment on the reports.
And I also want to get your take. Today, Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth repeated claims that Iran's nuclear program was, quote, obliterated in that strike that was carried out about by U.S. forces a few weeks ago. Have a listen.
Of course, those 3 nuclear sites in Iran, which were obliterated in case our press can't figure that out, which they seem to not be able to do.
So there's been a lot of back and forth on this. Can you update us on where the latest assessments stand on how much damage was actually done to the nuclear program?
Well, as you heard him, completely obliterated, according to the defense secretary, and often repeated by his boss in the Oval Office. Now, we have persisted in requesting evidence to support those claims, and we'll continue to do so. What we're basing our information on is early battle damage assessment that showed considerable damage to the Fordo site. And that's what a recent assessment has backed up, which was the main focus of the bombings, which was struck by 12 of those bunker buster bombs. 2 more hit Natanz, while 24 Tomahawk cruise missiles struck the Isfahan sites. And those aren't penetrating bombs. I mean, they do a lot of damage, but they're not meant or designed to penetrate. Last week, Chief Pentagon spokesman repeated that Iran's nuclear program was set back for 2 years. Early evidence suggests probably months, and we haven't been presented with any evidence to prove that initial assessment wrong.
And President Trump has been looking to bring Iranian officials back to the table to discuss that nuclear program. Where do those efforts stand?
Yeah, the president has said, and he continues to say, that he remains committed to talks with Iran in order to avoid further military action. But he said earlier this week he's in no rush to talk. And again, big question as to whether Iran's nuclear program has been set back for years and months, because what nobody can say with any certainty is the whereabouts of highly enriched uranium. Not weapons grade, but enriched. And it's likely the regime still has the knowledge, if not the ambition, and the hardware to pursue a weapon. And it also comes at a time, and this is important, it's an important development this week, European diplomats who are still part of that agreement are warning Iran that they're prepared to trigger the UN snapback mechanism, it's called, that would see international sanctions reimposed if Iran does not make progress on reviving that deal by the end of the summer, with or without the United States.
Well, end of the summer is coming quickly. I always love talking to you, Charlie. You have so much knowledge and experience, and you always let me cover so many different topics. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks, Charlie.
What happened is they rigged the election and I became president.
People are real big on this 2024 election hack thing. I haven't looked into it at all, and I don't want to waste my time on dumb shit. Is there, I don't even trust you fuckers. Is there actual evidence of any of this, or is this all like a fucking meme?
In this video, I'm going to make the case that Donald Trump had the means, the motive, and the opportunity to hack the 2024 election. The looming question is whether or not he pulled the trigger on the plan to flip votes in his favor.
And he knows those computers better than anybody, all those computers, those vote counting computers. And we ended up winning Pennsylvania like in a landslide, so it was pretty good. It was pretty good. So thank you to Elon.
I spent the last 2 weeks interviewing election security experts and evaluating claims that admittedly look a lot like conspiracy theories. Indeed, they echo Trump's big lie that the Democrats rigged the 2020 election against him.
We did great in 2016. A lot of people don't know we did much better in 2020. We won. We did win. It was a rigged election. It was a rigged election.
While his allegations have been heavily litigated and lost in courts across America, there are important material differences between the 2020 and 2024 elections. Most notably are Trump's own recorded statements and actions over the last 5 years that indicate Trump's obvious intent to manipulate votes. You've probably heard this taped conversation during the interregnum where he talked with the governor of Georgia and asked him to find votes that would illegally flip the state to his favor in 2020 and deliver him the presidency.
Oh, look, all I want to do is this. I just want to find 11,000 a great...
He would have been sentenced had he not won the presidency. Trump was facing 34 felony convictions for falsifying business records and paying hush money to a prostitute. He would have been sentenced had he not won the presidency.
He's running for office again to avoid going to jail.
Given all of this, we have to ask, did Trump spend...
Well, he was sentenced. No? The judge just said he wouldn't include jail time, right?
The 4 years after his loss, planning to gain the presidency by any means necessary, including tipping the scales in his favor by hacking vote machines. Now, it's almost unimaginable to me that Democrats have been unwilling to ask this incredibly obvious question. Instead, they built their platform insisting that American elections were almost magically safe and secure, despite all evidence to the contrary. Then, in the face of a historic and statistically questionable loss, Democrats failed to listen to security experts and call for recounts and forensic analysis that could certify once and for all what really happened. Instead, election officials across America aim to bolster everyday Americans' faith in the electoral system above all other considerations. It was even a main talking point at the only presidential debate where Trump continued to question election integrity himself.
Will you accept the results of the election, regardless of who wins? Yes or no, please.
If it's a fair and legal and good election, absolutely. I would have much rather accepted these, but the fraud and everything else was ridiculous.
The Democrats fell for Trump's rhetorical bind because the actual fact was that electronic voting machines are nowhere near 100% secure. Disparate systems across different states had and continue to have known vulnerabilities that could have flipped the election against Harris. Yet, in her concession speech, Harris did not even acknowledge that it was possible.
We're feeling and experiencing a range of emotions right now. I get it. But we must accept the results of this election.
But none of this stopped actual experts on election security from sounding alarm bells. On November 13th, 2024, a group of career statisticians, forensic analysts, professors, and computer scientists sent the Harris campaign a detailed letter that began with this line. We write to alert you to serious election security breaches that have threatened the security and integrity of the 2024 elections, and to identify ways to ensure that the will of the voters is reflected and that voters should have confidence in the results. It was a several-page letter. In it, they cautioned that Harris should not ways to ensure
We have no evidence of the outcomes of these elections in those states where actually compromised the result.
That the will of the voters is reflected and that voters should have confidence in the results. It was a several-page letter. In it, they cautioned that Harris should not concede without a detailed recount in close swing states where digital voting machines had been proven to be vulnerable to malicious attacks. They raised several specific issues that should have given anyone pause in pre-certifying the election and made an entirely reasonable case for routine audits in all close elections everywhere where the Democrat or the Republican was the victor. Now, I reached out to one of the authors of that letter in early July.
I'm Duncan Buell. My official title is Chair Emeritus NCR Chair in Computer Science and Engineering, University of South Carolina.
In our 45-minute conversation, which I will post separately on my back channel, Buell says that he has been collecting election data since 2010, and while he has never found explicit evidence of fraudulent votes by election rigging, he has located the sorts of election anomalies and discrepancies that undermine the public trust. He was also abundantly clear that a well-orchestrated hack wouldn't leave any traces behind.
If the attacks were done by the really smart people, say Russia, Iran, China, probably the hack would erase itself on the way out the door and we would never know it was there.
This guy is a chair of what? I'm sorry. Maybe I'm the retard. Okay.
University of Michigan professor and election researcher Alex Halderman testified in front of the Senate Intelligence Committee in 2017, outlining exactly how bad the situation actually is.
I know America's voting machines are vulnerable because my colleagues and I have hacked them repeatedly as part of a decade of research studying the technology that operates elections and learning how to make it stronger. We've created attacks that can spread from machine to machine like a computer virus and silently change election outcomes. We've studied touchscreen and optical scan systems, and in every single case, we found ways for attackers to sabotage machines and to steal votes. These capabilities are certainly within reach for America's enemies.
His testimony was focused on Russia, but the lessons pertain to any well-organized actor.
In close elections, an attacker can probe the most important swing states or swing counties, find areas with the weakest protection, and strike there. In a close election year, changing a few votes in key localities could be enough to tip national results. The key lesson from 2016 is that these threats are real.
And after his testimony, Halderman issued 2 reports to the committee, one open to the public and another that was redacted just for Senate officials.
I have read Alex's unredacted report. My take is that the unredacted report says exactly how you can compromise the system for every single one of them.
That Senate report was an exact blueprint for how someone could flip the election to their favor and leave only a minimal footprint behind. It wouldn't take a vast network of bad actors, just a committed coterie of individuals to put their fingers on the scale. Such a conspiracy would only require a few people getting access to voting machines and install malware and smart code to change the result of an election by a small enough margin that it wouldn't trigger a mandatory recount. It could be done with a thumb drive and a few minutes alone with a election computer. 3 separate security experts that I spoke to affirmed that the situation has not improved substantially since 2017. The dangers of digital elections are so well understood that they were indeed mainstays of the Republican Party's talking points for 4 straight years. Besides their baseless claims that Democrats were busing in immigrants to pose as legal voters and registering dead people en masse, well, here is Elon Musk while he was campaigning for Trump in Pennsylvania.
I'm a technologist. I know a lot about computers, and I'm like, the last thing I would do is trust a computer program because it's just too easy to hack. It's too easy to add just one line, and it's really.
I hate this guy so much. God, I hate this guy so much. He has to have the biggest gap between actual intelligence and marketed intelligence of any person in the history of this fucking country, dude.
The last thing I would do is trust a computer program. Because it's just too easy to hack. It's too easy to add just one line. And it's really difficult to hack paper ballots.
The irony, of course, is that Pennsylvania is one of those states that relies heavily on electronic voting machines, and for which Trump stated on his victory tour that Elon's knowledge of, quote, vote counting computers helped ultimately secure his win. There is also evidence that Trump operatives obtained copies of voting machine software in Georgia starting just a few weeks after his loss in 2020. Here's CNN.
Latham can be seen here escorting a team of pro-Trump operatives into the Coffee County Elections Office, including an IT specialist who was working with Trump attorney Sidney Powell. This all happens on the same day the voting system in that office was illegally breached.
This was the Tina Peters person, right?
January 7th, 2021, the day after the attack on the U.S. Capitol.
Meanwhile, an election official in Mesa County, Colorado, my home state, was arrested and sentenced to 9 years in jail for accessing voting machines unsecurely. These 2 well-documented breaches are incredibly important, showing the intent of Republican operatives to influence future elections. After all, once a threat actor owns a copy of the underlying software running on those machines, they have the ability to develop and test exploits on it that might allow them to eventually flip votes in their favor during an election. This could have been, in part, what Trump was alluding to when he spoke to a group of Christians at a rally in Florida.
In 4 years, you don't have to vote again. We'll have it fixed so good you're not going to have to vote.
We will have it fixed.
This is retarded. I'm sorry. Well, let's see if anything comes in the court cases. What is this? Oh, I remember this. I did as a child. We're talking about chess. But I found chess to be too simple to be useful in real life. A mere 8x8 grid. No fog of war. No technology tree. No random map or spawn position. Only 2 players. Both sides exact same pieces, etc. Polytopia addresses these limitations. God, he's so fucking smart. What was the, fuck, whose YouTube videos did we watch yesterday? Where the guy was the smartest guy in the world?
Do you know?
One sec.
Look at all these fucking slugs. Everyone's a fucking idiot but me. Slugs making consumer choices thinking it's freedom. They don't even know. I'm really fucking smart. I see what's fucking going on. I'm a genius on different levels of different types of scientific, political levels. I can't be fooled with your politics and your laws. I see through them into the real reality. Mindless slugs addicted to shit, paying money to buy poisons, eating shit I would never fucking touch.
It's just kind of nuts. Everybody's running around. There you go. Is it every year gets crazier and crazier, right? And they're all slugs, but you and me. You're a slug. You're a slug walking around begging for slime, for sugar. You see how everybody here is like a slug, right? Yeah. Yeah, you see it. You understand.
I can't be held accountable with your laws.
Like your jacket.
What?
Your jacket. It's cool.
You know your slug.
What?
Thanks. I got it's a motorcycle jacket.
Oh.
Do you like motorcycle? Have you seen motorcycles?
I've seen. Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you ride one?
I will hope to. I hope to one day have enough money to be riding on a motorcycle.
Cool.
I hope to one day doing that.
I hope that for you too. That's very cool.
You shopping?
Yeah. I'm shopping. I'd like to. I also.
The rest of this is cooked. Oh, okay. I can't subscribe to Hassan until he stops using schizophrenic as an insult. Effort post. I live with a psychotic form of bipolar disorder. I have had a half a dozen psychotic episodes as a part of my journey with this illness over the last 11 years. I've been through 2 horrific hospitalizations and tried over 30 medications. I've met countless people online and in person who struggle with severe mental illness, including psychosis. I get that Hassan doesn't live with this on a day-to-day basis and likely hasn't seen this world before, so I want to take some time to explain why I feel that he's contributing to the stigma around psychosis and how the world of severe mental illness is not so separate from the thing he advocates for every day. He has also used autistic as an insult to right-wing, chronically online losers. The difference is that for a lot of autistic people, hi, that's me, the word autistic or autism isn't immediately triggering. The words OP is talking about can be immediately triggering for somebody with psychosis or schizophrenia. Okay.
You can, and again,
You're not going to prevent all of them, but they're Nick Fuentes.
Okay. Okay. All right. Just so you know, like, Holocaust deniers today don't deny the Holocaust. They'll just endlessly debate the numbers. They don't debate whether it was like 6 million or 5.5 million. They debate if it was like 6 million or like 100,000. Just to be clear, but. All right. Boring time. We're reading the last paper on this. Good luck. Destiny. Also, to consider regarding the RBD is that the virus did mutate to bind better his receptor. Also to consider regarding the RBD is that the virus did mutate to bind better his receptor. Therefore, the RBD was not as optimal as possible to bind his receptor to humans. Sure. Funny TikToks that had me rolling on the floor. Okay. I'll probably work on these notes in my free time and organize these into something coherent and then record a video, just like the Jan 6 video that will absolutely come out. How long was the whole Mueller report? I'm surprised it's still even hosted on the 448 pages. How long do you think it would take to read this whole thing? You can probably skip the executive summary. There's not a newer version of this published, right? That would contain less redacted material. I'm guessing. Jesus. Prior to mid-August 2016, did you become aware, these are probably in a criminal, these might be called interrogatories, maybe? Questions that you ask prior to any case, bullshit. Oh, a lot of this is like, okay. Like repeated here. Prior to mid-August 2016, did you become aware that Paul Manafort had ties to the Ukrainian government? If yes, describe who you learned this information from, when, and the substance of what you were told. Did Mr. Manafort's connections to the Ukrainian or Russian government play any role in your decision to have him join your campaign? If yes, describe that role. Were you aware that Paul Manafort offered briefings on the progress of your campaign to Oleg Deripaska? A Russian oligarch and billionaire. Based. Apparently, a lot of that report's Roger Stone bit is redacted, but a newer version got released with less redactions. A newer version of what? The entire report? Oh, is this the newest version? If yes, describe who you learned this information from, when, the substance of what you were told, what you understood the purpose was of sharing such information with him, and how you responded. Were you aware of whether Paul Manafort or anyone else associated with your campaign sent or directed others to send internal Trump campaign information to any person located in Ukraine or Russia associated with Ukrainian or Russian governments? If yes, identify who provided you. Did Paul Manafort communicate to you any positions Ukraine or Russia would want the U.S. to support? I do not recall. I have no recollection of. I do not know. Based. King. Our king. Donald Trump. Okay, I'm curious. I think I know the answer, but... Okay. If I were to go through one of these two next, what would it be? The Mueller report or Epstein's, like, I guess, bio? Okay, I was expecting the Epstein thing to be heavily favored here. You only have the research audits here? True. Will you do both eventually? I should read this next. This should be our next thing. Is there a, okay, I'm going to arrange the sources section here, and then I think this outline is fairly arranged. And then I just need to make, just need to record a video talking about this. And then the Epstein stuff. Epstein. I will probably just do Epstein next. I think the Epstein stuff will be shorter. I'm trying to think for publishing notes. I don't think I ever want to like footnote or like source directly everything I make. Like if I make like a statement about a thing here, I don't think I want to be linking like to every source for every claim because I feel like it would just take too much time and I would never end up doing it. I think having the source up top, if you want to read something, then fucking go through it yourself. Yeah, fuck it. Epstein should be quick. Yeah, we'll see, I guess. No, actually it should be. Epstein should be fairly... I don't even know how much there is to go over for his life, yeah. Oh my God. Hassan. Scheduled debate with P.F. Young over Epstein. Will there be any video on the COVID stuff on the YouTube channel? Yeah, I think I want to organize these notes in a way that makes a coherent argument, and I'll just publish them, and I'll make a vid just like running through it That's hopefully fairly shortish. And then I want to reach out to Tom. I want to see if he'll host a debate with anyone on this topic. And I'll just try to branch out on that, I guess, maybe.
To blackmail rings, had no client list. But if Donald Trump, you know, if Epstein was part of the CIA, and the CIA and the FBI investigated themselves, would that mean that they might have lied to hide their own guilt? Donald Trump would never lie to cover his own guilt, would he? It couldn't be. And we all know that Donald Trump has no particularly strong ties to Israel, so he would never not want to release the Epstein files because, you know, it sort of puts Israel in a bad light. He'd never do that. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm getting nervous here. I was hearing some sirens the other day and footsteps at the door.
Yeah, fuck it. We'll do the Israel Epstein, all that bullshit. Okay. I want to go date soon. Get fucked. Tack, tap, rap, snap, Leo, Brad, Spike, Dawn, Nail, Well, Mike, Pass, Spring, Rain, Punt, Pin. Football things like a snap, a punt, a pass. Can you spike the ball? I feel like this is a saying for something. Fuck, I'm getting baited. This is a bait. Oh my god, okay. I don't know what that means. I don't know why I've even heard this term. You can pay with your card using tap, using a PIN number. Nicknames? Leonardo, Bradley, Donald, and are these like popular actors? Leonardo DiCaprio, Brad Pitt. Fuck. Thumbnail, thumbtack. Thumb pin, thumb tap. Thumbnail, thumbtack. Thumbwell? Is that like a well of ink that you put your thumb in? Like a thumb well? Is that a real thing? And a thumb spring? No shot. Thumb wrap. No. Thumb pin? No. This is stupid. Oh my god, it's not even, stop. Things with water in them? Like a spring, a well, it rains. Oh my god. Is this something? It's gonna be one off and I don't even know how. I have no idea. Leo, Brad, Dawn. Oh, I didn't even change the right one. Oh. I'm fucked. Things you can do to a door, like tap on the door, you rap on the door, your hand, tack. It's all ogre bros. Okay, a tack, a nail, a pin, and a spring, a tap. This doesn't make sense. Fuck me. Fuck this. Sources of drinking water. Rain. What, you drink rain? You don't drink the rain. Oh my God. Really? Really? The rain collects in like a spring or a well, and then you drink it there. Sharp fasteners. A brad? I don't know what that is. A nail, a pin, and a tack? Okay. And then starts with Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. I thought about this, but... Oh, Michelangelo and Raphael, R.I.P.H. Fuck. My God.
So this is for a vow reveal?
Yes, yeah, I mean,
33,000 views 8 months ago.
This space is a very versatile wedding space. You've got about 100 square foot. You've got
Yeah, it looks
lovely-
good. Do you mind if I just kind of give it a whirl to kind of see myself in
Yeah,
it?
no, of course. Pretend I'm not here.
Hi, Grandma. Yeah, anywhere's fine. Yeah.
Do you want me to?
Yeah, big day. Oh, phone call. It's probably the wife. Maybe some nerves or anything. Hello? I just need to go and check on the olives. They're too salty. What the fuck are you doing here, Linda?
Son, I really don't think you should be in here because this is not part of
Why are you here?
venue talk.
I am a changed man. You've got to go. Leave that, please, before you ruin.
Be normal, be fine.
Yeah. Hi, yeah, sorry, the olives are fine. False alarm, they weren't actually salty. Yes, Grandma! Pre-wedding nerves, you know, I'm bowing you all. Second time lucky! It's all fine, absolutely. Alejandro! Didn't you make it? This is my mum. I'll show you where the toilets are, they're just through here.
That's true.
There's some coke in the kitchen.
Move quickly with. I'm sorry.
Gotta show Alejandro the olives.
Well, this isn't the first time he's done it.
No, please, I can explain, everyone. No, this isn't, this doesn't, I can't live without these kids, you know. Please don't tell Tina. How long have you been there for, darling? I know, kids, I'm so sorry, kids, please, no, Tina, no, Tina, please, don't. Get off me, God, don't fucking talk. God, get the fuck out! I will kill every one of you! Little old Paul have a gun, but he's got one! Stand the fuck back!
No.
Let me die! Just let me die!
masturbate?
He does. Is that Alex O'Connor, the British guy?
It's not bad. It's a bit bland. Do you have anything maybe a bit
Yeah, the
more
British
colourful
guy.
or something? No?
Okay. Also, okay, wait, quick, final thing. I've had like 3 people message me this. What is that Tally Girl's Twitter? The one who was on the panel thing that we did that joined later on. So a bunch of people messaged me and said that, I don't know how true this is, so careful. A bunch of people messaged me and said that when you actually go through like the things that she cares about, that she goes on panels. Now, I don't know if this is true or not. Okay, we'll just check right now. Okay, it's totally fair reading. She'll talk about all these issues that she cares about, but then when you read her shit, it's actually just like all trans stuff. Do you think that's true? Let's find out. Okay, let's scroll a little. Wait, history of porn. Careful. Fuck, I don't know if scrolling on Twitter is a good idea. You know what? I'm putting it up here just in case. Her videos. Is this her channel?
Welcome back to...
McMahon meets the navel gaze. I don't know who that guy is. Transing the straight away. Did HBO just expose the truth about trans? Low libido paraphiles? Is that a trans thing? 2 trans guys unknowingly describe metasexuality. Interview with a femboy. Masculine embodiment fantasies. Okay. The iron law of autogynephilia. I was going to say, is this the autogynephilia argument but for men? Okay, we've got taftage. Okay. The men who want to be women and the women who want to be with them. Okay, man. Now maybe this podcast is like specifically about. Well, that's kind of weird if you have a podcast explicitly about autosexuality, I guess. Is autosexuality just the whole like wanting to masturbate to yourself, basically, like autogynephilia, basically? Why would you have a podcast all about? No, that's Tal, not Taftage. No, this was Taftage. The iron law of autogynephilia with Taftage. Okay, we have to go 8 days back to find her saying, "I'm not a TERF, I'm a Blanchardian." I think Blanchard, was that she or he, the researcher to describe autogynephilia? I'm more pro-trans than transmed trans people. I'm closer to a chaser, given my obvious special interest, than a transphobe. Okay. If you've been a man in a dress, a gay couple, a scan. Okay, we got that. High decouplers are born autistic, but they're also made. You can just practice. I hate both sides of the trans debate. I'm only back to July 7th. Autogynephiles who regularly wear normal women's clothing are not aroused by wearing normal women's clothing. Being in the room with a trans woman does not equal participating in their fetish. July 5th. Does this ever come up when she goes on these panels? Okay, so she's like a single issue trans person. This is a trans obsessed person. July 1st, it's not porn addiction that drives men to transition. It is most often gender dysphoria from autogynephilia. On July 1st, another July 1st. Very interesting, AGP. June 30th, okay. All right, okay. Fuck. I wish I would have known this beforehand. The reason why she votes Trump is because she's just obsessed with the trans topic. Everything else is a diversion / waste of time. I wish I would have known this beforehand. Good meme, though. Good distraction. You could tell from her answers on the panel. I didn't know that she was into the trans shit at all. I had no clue. Tiny bit of hopium. Green of Georgia amendment on a. Is this her thing about controlling the weather cloud? Like, this is stupid. Everybody knew this was dumb. That's not hope. That's not hope.
I don't know.
It's not hopium that they shot down the crazy MAGA woman's attempt to ban cloud. Oh, it's for removing Ukraine aid? Oh, never mind. Well, that's good at least, I guess. Okay. Lily's playing Mega League.
Bio bidet.
Don't care. Don't care. All right, I love you guys. Have fun. Be careful. I'll be back tomorrow. Maybe we'll start the... We'll probably do Epstein first. We'll do Epstein then. Don't die.